Lynn as a person is someone who's on this earth to learn and experience life as much as possible and to know what it's like to love, to give back before I pass on to the next stage of my life in heaven or whatever it is. But I think this temporary life of mine, I just want to be the best version of me. I was a single mum and I really wanted to start a business because I needed the freedom. I think the only solution I saw was having to start my own business. And I just took on the first opportunity that came to me, which was a nail polish e-commerce business. So a friend gave me a nail polish. I said, all right, I'm going to do it because I actually just could not see any opportunity. I wasn't raised in an entrepreneur family. I couldn't see any business things that I could do. And so I'm the type that if I am given an opportunity, I always go for it. Okay, I'll start a business because I think I'm going to make $1 million easily. You know, I just had that kind of blasé mindset. And so, yeah, that business led me to learning about digital marketing, how to set up your own website, how to do AdWords, SEO to actually get the words out. And so it was completely foreign to me. I didn't realize how difficult business was. Obviously, with limited funding, I stumbled across the opportunity to outsource overseas. And that was my journey to outsourcing, work with the offshore people. And I think at the beginning, my motivation to start a business is really for myself. Like I need to escape the 9-to-5, make a lot of money so that I could raise my child and make him proud. I remember driving in the car one day and I turned around to my son and said, son, one day we're going to be rich. We're going to travel anywhere we like and I'm going to make you proud. And I still remember that conversation so clearly, like with conviction. I knew I was going to get there. I don't know how. So I started a marketing agency out of outsourcing, you know, offshoring, working with overseas stuff. I did like it. However, it wasn't until I went to the Philippines and actually saw the impact I was making. Like I thought that everyone lives in the city in Manila and the pay that I'm giving my staff, they should be living a really great life. But I did realize that when I got to the Philippines, a lot of my team were in provinces. In Vietnamese, it's called Nha Quê, or it's basically really far away places, right? Because it's too expensive to even live in the city. And then they also have to provide for their family. You know, being an Asian descendant, your culture is that you don't just help yourself, you help your family. And so their salary would go towards their mums and dads and their relatives. And then the infrastructure in the Philippines was so bad that I was like, they have to work from home. There is no way I could see people traveling 3 hours each way to go to work. And then by the end, you have no time for yourself, your family. And so I was very motivated to keep going, being able to create jobs for people in developing countries. Even for clients, you know, I've been in the shoes of business owners. You start a business, you want freedom, and yet you're stuck in the business. And if you're not careful, the business takes over your life. You know, you've got no systems, no process. And even with team members, if you don't know how to run your business well, you are completely stuck in it. It's actually like even worse than having a job. You know, at least you can go to work and go home. And so Outsourcing Angel has really evolved into not just hiring staff. We're now looking at how do we systemize and automate the business and help business owners to have that freedom that they desire as well. Because I've been able to do that for myself in my own company. And so the next motivation that I've found is like, how do we, you know, take the business owners to the next level? Because they risk their life so much, right? To put all that funding and time into a business. And ultimately, I want to see them happy as well. I got to thank my parents for giving me the lessons when I was like from 10 years old and above. So when I came to Australia, my parents were migrant and they really just try to work as hard as possible to catch up to my aunties and uncles who's been here for like a decade. And so they try to work hard so that they could build a new life and make money. And so then they needed help and they got me to start helping them sewing at home. And so from the age of 10, I had to sew work every single day. It wasn't fun anymore. It was actually like a job. And then I said, I have to study. Like I still got homework. And my mum would be like, you'll manage. Early on, she already taught me the power of whatever time you have, you fill it up. And so I remember having to work as fast as possible to finish the homework that I need to do, to find time to go out. So there was just a lot of time management that I had to do really early on. The other thing is I didn't want to fail again. I already failed in a sense where I chosen the wrong guy. And all right, I was wrong. I have a baby now and I'm on my own. And so I told myself that I wanted to prove to my parents that I'm not a failure. Just because I made a bad decision doesn't mean I'm going to be destined for failure. And so hence I pushed myself through finishing uni, got myself a job. When your back is against the wall and you have no help, there's no one to turn to, sometimes it's a blessing. My parents didn't rescue me. They actually disowned me. And when I said, all right, I'm sorry, can I go back now? They said, no, you've made that choice. And they gave me really tough love. I would have been, swaying and maybe go back and forth with the guy that I was with and not making anything of my life. But because I really just had myself to depend on, I just persisted and made it happen. And so I think I've taken on that time management skill set throughout my whole life now. Now I love working out even twice a day or running a business, taking care of kids. And I do so much because I've been learning that skill set from a really young age. Virtual assistants are also mums themselves. And these are really brave women as well who have a great career in a corporate job in the Philippines, but decided that life is more than this. I want to be there for my children and my family. And so they took the leap and really just pursued a career in virtual assistant. It's a very risky job as well. It's like any self-employed job. If you don't get a client, you don't get paid. But yet I love working with these VAs who work from home through our company is that they are independent women. There are men as well who just wanted to be a better dad and, be there for their family. These VAs are so dedicated and so determined to change their life that when they do work with clients, they really care about the client's business. They're not an employee. They are their own boss. If they don't serve the clients well, then they don't get paid. And so we find that they are a lot more loyal and dedicated to working with clients. And the clients that we work with are obviously mums and dads who have started their business and they too want the freedom. And so having a reliable team member who are skilled and experienced and yet dedicated to helping their business grow, then I think it's just a virtuous circle. It's a win-win for everybody. Life is so short and we only have one life. Why not give everything a go? Sometimes we are too afraid, too scared because we think that we're living here forever and we're worried about people's judgment or we're worried about failure. But I see this life as such a temporary thing and a place for us to play with, change your perspective to how much gain can I get from this life? What can I try? What can I do so that I could develop myself and become a better person? And I think when you pursue a goal like starting a business or taking a leap anywhere, you are growing as a person. When I set big goals, like right now, I'm trying to get a 6-pack. It's so big. My husband's like, what for? Who cares if it's a 6-pack? It's actually not even about the 6-pack. It's about the path to getting there. I'm going to have to work out more, eat healthy. I'm going to need to work on my mindset. Imagine the person I become because of the goal that I set. Without my business, I wouldn't have read so many books. I wouldn't be going out there meeting people because there's no need to. Like if you have a stable job that you know what to do and people know you, you will probably stay in your comfort zone and you will never need to do anything different. Bigger goals require you to be a bigger, better person. You then seek bigger and better adventures. I think the worst thing is living with regret. If I ever feel like I want to do something, I want to go for it because I don't want to sit there pondering what could have happened, regret it, and knowing that I could die tomorrow. I might not live till 90. And imagine knowing that you're going to die very soon. Why not take that chance to try something new? But it comes down to also having reality that, business is hard. Not everyone wants to take that risk or have the appetite for it. Still find something that you truly love. What I love about a few of my team members is that they're not necessary entrepreneurs, or nor do they feel like the need to. Not everyone is made that way, right? But what they did know deep down is that they felt like life is meant to be more freer and more happy, and that why are they feeling so stuck in the job? And so instead of seeking a business, they're seeking a job opportunity that allows them to have the things that a business would have given them. A business is meant to give them freedom, flexibility, and make good money working from home. They got all that just by working for someone like at Outsourcing Angel. And so it's always about questioning yourself, like, what is it that you really want? How can you get that? You don't always have to go that way or that way. It could actually be a mixture of things. And there's always a possibility to find something that you truly love without having all that risk of the same. Business is not for everyone. If it's your calling, go for it. If it's not your calling, still go for, find something that you truly love and feel like it's going to give you that lifestyle and go for it. One of the recent challenge that I had to overcome is overcoming alcohol. It's so part of me that I almost felt like it's me, but I didn't realize how damaging it was to my mental health. When you're drinking alcohol, you might have fun for a few hours, but really the next day I actually would go through a bit of depression. I'm so proud to kind of snap out of it. And it's one of the biggest challenges because I look back at my journal and there's so many times that I've written there like I need to drink less, or I want to quit alcohol, or from now on I'm only going to do this. It's such a battle that it's been going on. Started drinking at 16, so nearly 25 years of this battle that if you asked me 2-3 years ago, what bad habit do you have or what challenge do you have, I probably didn't even think about it because it's so silent. It's so culturally accepted. And then now that I've been able to let it go, it's one of the biggest challenges. Like it was just in me, it was almost like this big rock that's kind of already stuck inside of me. And now being able to get that rock outside and throw it away, I feel so much lighter. And I hope that I can use this as an inspiration to help others. I think one key reason why I know this is a real thing for me is that I'm not quitting for myself. I actually decided to quit for others because my pastor said to me, I asked him, why did you quit drinking for 20 something years ago? He said, I want to help someone else who might be struggling. You might be okay drinking slowly back again, but maybe someone that's sitting next to you struggle with it or have a family member struggling with it. So why not be that example for them? So they're like, okay, if you can do it, I can do it. And I'm like, you know what? That sits well with me and I'm going to do that. And I think this is a challenge that I think a lot of people can resonate with. And I hope that my message is if I, the party girl, could quit alcohol, you can do it too. I never really felt the difference between men and women. I always felt like we got to be who we are and we always have to be authentic. More men are willing to take risks. They're made to be bringing home the bacon. So maybe that's just why they just go out there and get it. As women, for many years, as ancestors, we're meant to stay home, look after the kids. So it kind of naturally falls that way. So there's less of us trying to go to places. Whereas me, I guess it came down to my mum and dad's upbringing too. They also work their own separate careers. They have their own money. And so I was in a family where I had to go and make my own money. But otherwise in business, I feel like men are quite simple too. They're very logical. They're very simple-minded. They don't overthink things. Women tend to maybe overthink things. And I think if you just know what you want in life, be a good person, give back, be genuine, men or women, they will be your supporter. Thank you to Uma, my life coach, that really helped me design my life to where it is, because I remember feeling really overwhelmed, stressed with business and all that stuff. And we would look into our wheel of life, and a wheel of life is the different categories of your life. It's not all about work. It's not all about money. It's really about your self-care time, your family, your love life. And if you don't have those areas filled up, you will feel unhappy. And from that time onwards, I would always work on filling up my gaps around the areas. As part of that process as well, we were always working on, okay, well, in your career, what's your ideal day look like? What do you want to do? Rather than just thinking about how do I grow my company to double the size and more money, it's like, what are you going to do with that time and money that you're generating for the business? And instead of enjoying that freedom that I created and then maybe just choosing to spend some hours on working on the business when I need to, I just used that time to start another company. What was the point? I don't know. It was just cool idea and let's just make more money. And so I realized that I was following that same pattern of, the next silver shining object. And so I focus on my own business. When I have that more time, I read books, I travel, I do all the things that actually makes me happy. But during those time are the time that I actually start to think of strategies and ideas for the existing business. And all I need to do is share it with the team and then they go and help and execute it. And so I would say that being semi-retired is something that you can design and you can work toward, because my own husband is an example of someone that's worked for 22 years, has an amazing business, 10 times the size of mine. He even has business partners, which means that technically he sounded like someone that could retire if he wanted to, right? But he hasn't. It's because he hasn't designed his life outside of his work. He's still stuck working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. His mindset is still thinking that without me there, the business can't run. And I feel guilty taking time off. So there was a lot of self-limiting beliefs that kept him stuck in there. I'm teaching him that you need to work on other areas of your life. I'm important as well. The kids are important as well. And so he's working on, towards that as well. So you'll be shocked to know that I love waking up at 3 a.m. It just gives me time to work on my life. Like I get to reflect on my achievements. I pray, I read the Bible, exercising early in the morning, get out of the way, feeling so good for the rest of the day, and taking my kids to school. I no longer do anything that I don't like. So I get to spend time creating content. Like I love doing videos like this. I'm able now to also invest a lot of my time in the EO community that I'm in. EO is Entrepreneur Organization. It's a non-profit organization. All the entrepreneurs join there, and I'm giving back by being a volunteer in there as their social media marketing person. Just seeing where else I can reduce the days of working. And yeah, like I'm just like, so, in 2025, I wrote my ideal goal is I literally just do stuff in the morning, and during the day, it's like no more team meetings or anything like that. I want to be able to do more charity work. So next year we're planning to do our first client, or I guess open to the public, trips to the Philippines. So even though I go to the Philippines to meet my team, I want to start to design some trips where it combines experiences, learning, and charity, so that our clients or business friends or anyone can join and come along and experience life and give back. I'm very active with my church as well, and so I really want to do whatever it takes to help them, because they are changing lives, and I want to be part of missions like that. Life is more than just your work or money. Life is really about the people you're with, the relationship, their experiences. And I think it's just important to prioritize that and not just go wait for one day, when I make more money or when I do this, then I'll prioritize. And I've seen so many relationships crumble, marriages fail. And I just think it's just such a wasted life if we don't prioritize the other important areas like our health, our fitness. And so think about how can you live a wholesome life now and not wait till you're rich to be able to spend time in those areas.